Rashawn on Womanosphere versus Manosphere. Welcome back, bro.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
No
so
problem,
much.
man. No problem, man. So we talking about staying nigga free 2022. You guys shout it. If you shout it, they won't block you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, no, they won't. But they will block you. I'm just, yeah.
No.
You can say any kind of way you want. They're probably gonna block. But listen, enjoy this 2022, right?
Yep.
Enjoy it. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Why did you agree to speak about this?
Well, I mean, one, you asked. So part of what I was going to say today was actually talking about not letting fear cripple you. So actually, like saying yes to things you normally wouldn't feel comfortable doing. So my whole YouTube journey is a part of my growth process. So that's part of what I'm doing for 2022 specifically, was to grow outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, man. So how does YouTube Streets been treating you so far, man?
Man, like trash, man. It's treating me like trash. I'm getting caught up in YouTube because I started as a chat troll. Anybody that is familiar with me knows I started in the comments section, but I don't cuss at people and I don't call people names. I attack ideas, but people are really strongly attached to their beliefs. So I cause friction. So I've had a few people call me out from the panels. Uh, Left those places, and I'm still being put in videos, leaving a little diss tracks. So it is what it is. So these YouTube streets treat me like trash.
Yeah, man. Me too. Gave quite a few people opportunity, and they just took it and ran with it, and making up stuff. But we're here. So, but we're still gonna enjoy our 2022, and we're gonna tell these niggas how to enjoy their 2022 as well. So so what is one of the things you would recommend to enjoy 2022?
Man, don't take everything so seriously. Like even you yelling out niggas, it's hilarious. I can't take it serious. But I know a lot of people who would be like, shut this down. I'm off. I can't do this with you right now. So I mean, don't take life or yourself or your platform so seriously unless you're already making money. The money can be taken serious, but when we're all indentured servants to YouTube, we're get free labor. Man, cut it out. You're not that important. We don't know each other. Just fall back a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a black person to defend the N word, right? I'm waiting for someone to defend it. So it's like, oh, so wait, you that's who you are? You want me to stop saying it because that's who you are? It offends you because you are that? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. At least you admit it. YouTube free labor, yeah, man. There's a lot of free.
Yeah, it's a lot of free labor for YouTube, man.
Yeah, so if I worked a job, making even $20 an hour, all these hours, all these editing, because it's not just on the screen. It's what you do off screen. You're trying to network with different people, the Instagram messages. Yeah, man, there's a lot of free labor. What?
Yeah.
I am so that you know what that does make me.
Yeah. 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 You're a digital field Negro. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people do take it serious and personal when you discredit them because all this free labor we're doing, and like to get 10 subscribers outside of your network when you're small can take a week. Can take a week. So my mom says she's not gonna subscribe to me until I make money. She said, no, I ain't subscribing to you until you post until you make some money. Oh, yeah, okay.
So as long as it's a hobby, she's out.
She's just like, no. She's like, no. Yeah, it's a hobby to her.
Jeez.
If it's a hobby, no, you too. She doesn't quite understand. Well, I think she does. She just said you're too grown. You're sitting there talking to a whole bunch of people and you could be working.
It's the new video game.
I think so.
Yeah, it's the new video game. You just sitting on there playing your little game, your little PlayStation, your Nintendo.
Because she said that, but I see you laughing a lot. You're laughing, you're making jokes, and everyone's laughing with you. You're having a good time with that. That's not.
So work. It's not serious.
Yeah, it's not serious. I was like, well, mom, when I get my $250,000 a month, you ain't get nothing. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right.
Right. So we're gonna give you some advice. 2022, right? Don't slap the Karens. Some of y'all be slipping up. Y'all be slapping Karens on camera. Don't.
Oh, you mean real slaps?
Real slaps, yeah. Someone's coming up to you, they're disturbing you, they're saying you can't be here and all that. Listen, you can pull your phone out, record to make sure they know, but do not physical violence. Let's talk about no physical violence, right? Unless it's self-defense, but avoid fighting. Avoid fighting, YouTube, all that stuff like that. And that's part of the reason why even on YouTube, with a lot of stuff that's going on, people say, well, just meet up in a boxing ring. The issue is that boxing is sportsmanship, right? This has taken beyond sportsmanship. So, and even in boxing, there's a clause in it that you cannot physically harm each other besides that date. What's happening is that there's no sportsmanship. So since the sportsmanship is out the window, you can't meet up you really think they're going to meet up in the boxing gym and fight with rules and regulations? It's past that. What do you say about that? Don't slap cameras.
Yeah, don't slap Karens, and shout out to the pugilists, the people that want to glove up. E Black, I see you in the chat. Shout out to you, sir. I do not believe anybody should be resorting to fisticuffs, to resolve these, especially YouTube stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the street, if you come at me in the street, like we're in the grocery store and you got something to say, I mean, if it gets to that level, it gets to that level. Just you may not even have a way out, really. I'm not about to run. I'm fat. I'm not about to run from you. If it gets to that point, it gets to that point. But digitally, oh man, if I can just hit the button and you're gone, man, it's not that serious. So the online stuff, man, when I got the off button, but real life, man, you got to defend yourself, man. It's getting real out here. People are getting stabbed, shot. Watch your back in the real streets. YouTube streets, laugh it off.
That's so bad, man. It went viral. A woman took like how there's like a bike lock. It's like a string. It's the woman tied it around like a little pole and her while she waiting for the train, so she won't get pushed on the train. And it went viral. It's bad, man. Hey, stop voting Democrat. If you want a better life, stop voting for these people that put. I'm excluding Rashawn for that because I'm pretty sure him. Stop. If you want to, listen. Hey, if you think I'm bad, great. Name one city, one corner, one crack that's Democrat ran that has less than a 50% crime rate. Name one.
What is it, people? What is a 50% crime rate? Either there's crime or there's not. Now, does he mean 50% like the crime has been solved to at a 50% clip? Like, what are you saying when you say a 50% crime rate? 50% of the people are committing crime. Like, so what do you mean by a 50% crime rate?
Well, I mean, like for instance, they have I think New York City is up. Crime is up. I think 400. I'm just joking around, but on a serious level, it's really crazy. It's really bad. Guy took his own feces, right, and walking past on the train. Did you see that in New York City, the Bronx? Did you see that? No. He's walking past and he smudged her. She was sitting down, smudged her on her face, and then when he went behind her, and when she tried to get up, he went behind her like this and smudged her. So, check this out. There's no bail. There's a bail. No bail in New York City. He was arrested and got out the same day. Went on Facebook and bragged, "I would never pay a bail." Wow. He's back on the street.
Now, to your point, though, there does need to be an evaluation of who and how we vote, but I would not also just vote lock, stock, and barrel for Republicans either. Like, we need to evaluate anybody we vote for, know what they stand for, what their platform is based upon. But I know we don't do that. So even if you're going to vote for Democrats, we need to vote educated in an educated fashion, informed fashion, as opposed to the blind allegiance that we do right now.
Yeah, and I think what's also important too is that I don't have any children, but to start raising our children, some of them raise them to be. I don't really hear too many people saying they want to raise their child to be a politician, right? Do you ever hear that? I mean, it just happens. Or
no, we used to talk about your child could be president one day, but actually to go through the poli-sci track in school. No, people aren't actually taking steps to get them. Now, there is some out there because my nephew was involved in a few civic things, like through Franklin County, the youth. He was on the youth council, so he was actually in those spaces and spent time with city council members and speech I'd helped him write. like this one of the city council members out here stole a line out of it. You know what I'm saying? He told him like, hey, I stole a line. So he got civically engaged, and that can lead towards that track because you're around it. But no, most people don't groom their children for, civil servant positions.
So I think that could be something, what about forgiveness, right? Forgive. It's like if you don't forgive, what they say, revenge is like, I guess being holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison and expect the other person to die.
Right.
What do you think about that?
There's a truth to that. Like, I'll tell you what, I had a really big grudge with a family member. I held on to it. Like, because it was partially my fault. I got it, not partially. I have to take accountability for my circumstance. I was a grown man, but I was groomed to believe that you could not step away from family. No matter how much they harmed you, you had to put up with it. So continually being harmed, not physically, like financially, stolen from, used, things like that, giving out loans that never got paid back. And, you stay in that pattern. Man, I got so resentful that that grudge started to manifest physical symptoms. Until I was able to let that go, man, it freed me up. Like, even like I promise you, I would wake up at 3:00 in the morning feeling like, man, something was just sitting on my chest. Like, because I was so angry. I would go to sleep angry, wake up angry, because I knew I would have to deal with this person like sooner or later. They lived like 2 blocks from me. So, I mean, they would just pull up. And it was a problem every single time. And I know I've talked on either this platform or another one. I mean, Thanksgiving fights. And I mean, man, life was crazy. I mean, I grew up in a hood, so it was wild. Lots of violence, lots of cops. But letting all that go and also stop dealing with them, man, probably saved my life, man.
Yeah, man. Same thing with my family. Typical. Can I say it?
Don't say it, man. Don't say it, man. Shoo.
Excuse me. Listen, it's over for y'all. It's over for y'all. Look at this. Look at my background.
That's nice.
It's over for y'all, man. It's over. It's over for y'all. It's over. That's it, man. $25. It's over for y'all. And then you have the remote on your phone. It's over for y'all. But anyway, 2022 is over for y'all. That's what I was saying.
$25.
That's it.
For the light.
For the light.
Yeah. Not about that.
No,
brick.
this is on my. It's the app on my phone. The app
for the lights. I'm talking about the bricks, like that. That brick inlay or whatever.
I think the brick is like $60. It's padded. I put the. Okay. You know what the brick is here?
Mm-hmm.
The brick is to remind people, hey, don't hit this. Don't hit it. But no, on a serious note, don't hit the wall. Right. I think that comes with goals, ambitions, and a lot of the stuff that I've. Because of my depression, I allowed time to pass by me, like not doing anything. Like, dude, I don't smoke or drink. Like, why am I sitting there doing nothing?
Yeah. Been there, man.
So,
don't hit the wall.
Yeah, man. Don't hit the wall, man. So, I mean, so we talk about forgiveness, right? What about reward yourself?
Ooh, man, that's a trick bag. That's a trick bag because you can get into rewarding yourself too much. Like you can slip over that slope and just like always trying to incentivize yourself, and then it's just a crutch or like an overindulgence. So I mean, you got to be careful with that. You really have to accomplish something if you're going to use that principle. Like, it rewards yourself because you actually accomplished the thing. So you have to, one, be able to recognize when you've accomplished something. And two, like when you actually are not using that reward as like I'm a fat boy. Like, oh, if I do something, I'll get myself, I'll eat some fruit snacks today. If I put in my work, but then sometimes you'll be like, man, well, I already got 1 pack of fruit snacks, and I know I'm gonna do it tomorrow, so let me go ahead and get that 2nd pack of fruit snacks. You know what I'm saying? So you can overindulge in the reward because you have an unhealthy relationship to it. So you have to have a discipline if you're going to use reward to try to incentivize yourself. Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. But at the same time, some things you can try to reward yourself in a different way. It could be like, I don't know, going to the movies by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like, I know people who have a weight loss journey, and their reward, they'll go to McDonald's and get a frappe. You know what I'm saying? So So then what's the point? Like, you spent 2 hours walking or jogging, and then you go get a frappe. It's like your reward can't be counterproductive to your goal.
Mm. No, yeah, I definitely agree. What about smile more? See, y'all 304s, y'all have an issue with that. Y'all have an issue with that. Smile, right? What about? I think when smile more means just find a reason just to be happy, right? You don't necessarily have to walk around like, none of that shit, but you can just find a reason to be grateful, man. It's your life, It's your life, man. Be grateful for what you have,
Man.
and a lot of times be grateful for what you have. Like, listen, be grateful for what you don't have. I'm grateful I don't have all these hoes. I'm grateful.
Jesus.
I'm grateful I don't have them. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine I have all these kids? I'm on the stream and they all popping up, jumping around me, talking about child support, child support. No, listen, right? So be grateful what you have and be grateful what you don't have, right? So Rashawn, say it with me, right? Let's be grateful for these.
Nah, man, I'm not. You're not sucking me into that mess, man. I know that AR stands for. I don't know what the A stands for, but that R is red pill, man. I don't know what the A stands for, but that R is red pill. Boy, you so red pill today.
Listen, man, I take celebration of me being a faithful man. I joke around about it, but I take me being faithful. Hopefully, hey, you better be faithful too. Don't be red pill on me, shit. But no, I take pride in that. Me just staying focused into what I have. But I think yeah, man, be happy, be grateful. What do you say to that?
Now, definitely be grateful. Now, there's truth in what you said. Now, the smile thing, that's a little trigger because, men use that to say to women, you need to smile, you need to smile. Okay, you don't need to police what a woman is doing. That's, that's my anti-red pill statement. Yeah. But internally for yourself, man or woman, yes, you do need to practice gratitude because that also was part of my journey too. Recognizing what you actually do have instead of focusing on what you do not have. And that was my thing. Like AR said, if I don't have these habits, why am I sitting still? Because I was in my head dwelling on all the negatives, what I don't have, what I didn't do. And I would dwell on what I didn't do to the fact that I still wasn't doing it. And that's useless. So instead of being useless to my own self or towards my own goals, switch that up. Be thankful for, okay, well, I woke up today. That means I have an opportunity to actually try to accomplish. Even if I don't, I put in effort. So that was part of my journey too. Gratitude is very important, and it lifts your spirits, which impacts your physical health. Because if you believe in science or you believe in religion, no matter which way you believe, an attitude of gratitude benefits you physically and in your life too. It manifests within yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. They're all connected. And again, science and religion, no matter which way you believe, they agree on that.
Absolutely. Reach your goals, right? So one way you can fight depression, right, is by creating some goals and achieving them. Listen, if you I can't go there, but let's say that you're really depressed, you don't want to be here anymore. You know what? Put a 60-day mark. Why don't you go feed the homeless for 60 days? Since you don't count, you don't matter to yourself, right? You don't matter. You might as well go and do something to help other people, right? You deserve happy. You deserve to set up goals. What are some things you didn't accomplish? GED, right? Go to college. A course. You don't have to go to full-term college, but you can take up a course. What are some things you never accomplished? You're already going anyway, right? So why don't you accomplish these? When you set goals, you accomplish a little 1% a day, right, Rashawn? Mm-hmm. You accomplish little by little. That's how I was able to just little goals, So, yeah, man, little goals. One person I dislike the most is Lizzo. And I remember, I think I spoke about it yesterday. I put my first video up. And you know what? One of the people that said to me, "Oh, look at Lizzo father." Motherfucker, I ain't Lizzo father. Can't believe they said that. I hate, but what do you think about reaching your goals?
Reaching your goals. That is important. It is important to create goals. I don't see now. I went through this, so I couldn't do what AR just said. I couldn't go feed the homeless because when I didn't value myself, I definitely didn't value strangers. So I'm trying to figure out another way. What I did, and everybody and I may have the same situation. I used members of my family I had a good relationship with, my nephew, and I developed a good relationship with my mother. because I started off bad with my mother, but later in life we've made amends. So my nephew and my mother, I poured my energy into them to help them with their goals, and that became my goal until I could create goals for myself. So use people that you love if you can't pour out into strangers, because that whole thing AR said about, hey, I don't care, I can't get off the couch, I'm gonna go out and feed the homeless. That wouldn't even work with me. Like, if I'm not getting off the couch for me, I'm definitely not getting out for Bill, who's on the street. So find somebody that you do care for. Maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a teacher that you have that you're still fond of and lives in the neighborhood. Somebody, I know everybody has at least one person that they're fond of. Do something for them. Maybe it's a grocery store owner that gave something to you. Go and sweep up for them for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, pour into somebody that's poured into you, because everybody has at least one person that's poured into them. And maybe that will help you get to the point where you care enough about yourself and see value in yourself to take the next step for yourself.
Absolutely. Rashawn, I gotta give you a little pushback. I don't think there's no homeless guy named Bill. Maybe a Tyrone, maybe.
Oh, so we're being racist. Racist.
No.
Oh yeah. There's no homeless Bill. There's no homeless Bill, but there's a Tyrone and a Sharkeisha.
I mean,
now, if you're being racist, why didn't Sharkeisha have welfare? Why is she homeless? Because you know how you're feeling. Sharkeisha,
black.
She got Section 8, right?
Oh, she does. She had to hook up.
I knew you were racist. 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 See what I'm saying?
What about this thing I didn't write down, right? But checking on the elderly, right? In your neighborhood. Yeah. What do you say to especially when there's just not enough toilet tissue and food shortages and stuff. So checking on if you have a neighbor or someone you know that's elderly, physically checking on them, making sure that their food is not expired, because a lot of them they're still either, I don't know how they don't get sick from that shit. But so what do you think about checking on the elderly in your neighborhood?
Nah, definitely. We did that during the pandemic too. We definitely we did care packages. So there was each month we were doing like $50 to $100 in cash, and then a bunch of toiletries like masks, hand sanitizer, toilet tissue. But we would also ask them, what exactly did you need? I think one person said cleaning supplies. So because it's harder for them to get out and shop, and they were also more afraid to go out to shop even if they could. So definitely reach out, tap into people who have a harder time with mobility, accessibility. It may not just be elderly. I just had to take a guy to the store. He's special needs. He lives a little bit down from me. His father died. His father took care of him. So now he's on his own. His sister has her own family. So it's hard for her to help in, pitch in. So I just ran him to the store just, to get what he needed. So if you have the ability and you have the desire, yes, please reach out to the other people, because there are people that need help. And it really does keep people from getting to a really dark spot sometimes, because some people don't know where to turn to or don't have that person. If you're that person, man, it is taxing. Having people lean on you can wear you down. So take time for yourself. But it's very beneficial to society as a whole if we can lean upon each other.
Yeah, man, I had to do that for a few people. 'Cause I worked in a nursing home for about 8 years part time, and man, definitely check on. They're the ones that most people forget about.
Yep.
They forget about. So, what do you think about spending less time watching TV?
Man, yeah, you
spend more time watching my channel. But let's just talk about other than that. But no. Sometimes you need a YouTube detox or television detox, right? What do you think?
Absolutely. No, that's something I have to recalibrate myself, because YouTube is actually taking me away from television and video games. So I don't get the opportunity to do any of that, because I'm either watching or creating. And so I've got to figure out a balance so that I'm doing more creating, like more output than input, because I've been inputting a lot of drama. So I've got to cut out the drama. That'll free up more time for something actually purposeful and useful. So, definitely, if you have a way or you have a skill or a talent, lean into that as opposed to like consuming, because there are a lot of negative things, a lot of useless things. We're distracting ourselves. And I get it. A lot of us, and especially during this pandemic time, are stressed or afraid or lonely or something else, whatever you're feeling, because we're all going through something.
Yeah.
try to pull back from the distraction and like, I don't want to be corny. Pull out of the distraction and jump into action. You know, like use your time productively. Like, I mean, but that it'll make you feel better in the end. I know that's weird. It sounds weird when I say it. Like, it'll make you feel good, but I promise you, you feel better about yourself at the end of a day when you've put in productive work. That's something that you care for, as opposed to just sitting there and you look back and I wasted 6 hours watching just drama content.
Now, let me also explain that there's a lot of content out there, you know. And now, if you feel like, you know, you need a detox and you're a content creator, you have the right to create different type of content.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't have to feel that. Trust me, people want good content. A little drama back and forth, but most people, you know, when it comes to business, could you imagine you found, you know, you're filing your taxes, your tax preparer saying, yeah, that tax preparer on the east side, you know, he ain't. You're like, where am I?
Don't be going to Jackson Hewitt. They're all scammers. Bunch of scammers. H&R Block, a bunch of hoes.
H&R Block.
Yeah, I already know. Yeah, that's what it feels like, man.
You know, I just don't see. Maybe I'm oblivious. Maybe my eyes don't work well, but I try to look for content of other races doing this. I don't find it, man. I mean, like, where
you look for it? You look for it?
I've been trying to search for it because I'm really trying to figure out why are we doing this to each other. No, seriously, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I'm looking for different.
Well, listen, I've found it. I've seen it. His name is Alpha Dave. So he's Alpha, red pill, white guy, and they jumped on him because he's been, I don't know how to use the word properly, cuckold or whatever. Where you're something like that, where you let your wife have sex with another guy, but you watch or something. There's some whole thing where, like, so they think he's supposed to be Alpha Dave, but they're making fun of him because he let some other person sleep with his wife. So they're fighting, and they're European descent. And I've seen was it Puerto Rican red pill and Latin red pill. I looked and I found everybody has toxicity and negativity. It's a human behavior.
They do.
But our algorithm is feeding us ourselves because that's what we see. That's what we look for.
Yeah, but now when it comes to I think what I'm saying is at the extreme, like podcast panelists, maybe I'm missing it. I've looked for it, and I don't really see it. Probably because the algorithm, right? Because I mean, like when you're on YouTube, how can you find them? You know, it's like white angry man, it won't come up, you know. But it's sad, man. Like last week, it actually really hurt my stomach, you know, and you know, seeing certain things and like this person lives there with their kids, their children, you know. So how it's not an apartment, it's a house. So how do you, right? How do you pack up and so now every time you come outside your house, you gotta look outside your, you know, come on. The kid gotta look outside too, you know. I don't know, man. That's just so. What do you think about investing? Right, a lot of us are, you know, up in age, over 30 years old. If you're over 30 years old and you haven't even looked into retirement, the elderly people we said check up on, right? They probably didn't think of retirement, right? Not all cases, but you know, if they did, they would have a home attendant. That would be part of their retirement, right? So, preparing for unexpected events. You know, that's what start investing could be. You know, allow your money to grow over time, not on Cash App. That's not what I'm talking about. Go see a professional.
He said Cash App
because Cash App says you can do Bitcoin. No, listen.
Yeah.
Don't trust them. Go see a professional. All jokes aside, go see it. I'm not giving any investing advice. YouTube, so stop it. You know, but listen, go see a professional. Learn about. You know, 30 years from now, are you going to be that elderly you have to go check up on? What do you say to that, John?
No, definitely. We do need a better, estate planning. We need better financial forecasting, modeling, discipline. We need all of that. I'm not the person to give you good advice. I can tell you what to stay away from doing. Withdrawing things early and taking those penalties. Don't do that. Yeah. So when you're having a financial time, pulling stuff out to use it for like stuff that little temporary stuff that you could have got over if you really hustled instead of taking those penalties and losses and losing out on the interest. Don't do that. So I can tell you what not to do. I'm not the guy that can tell you what to do. I mean, there's a lot of great people out here that do talk about investing. I know Tack Williams and I know Vic knows some things. I mean, there's a lot of people. Even Lucky Marie, so I see Darrell Long. Lucky Marie she talked about financial. There's even through Darrell Long, he on Instagram. There was I want to say her name is Kezia Williams or something like that on IG. Man, she has a lot of good investing information, and not even just investing, just like side business, side hustle stuff. So I mean, if you are motivated, you can make money out here. And if you are willing to look up the information and try some things, man, you can actually take the risks, get some gains. But Kezia Williams, there you go. Yeah, I got that through Darrell too, man. He puts that on IG. So I mean, there's a lot of people, and they're giving away the information for free. So you don't have to pay anybody on Patreon. There are a lot of people giving away good information for free. When I was investing on what was that? Was it Robinhood or Stash? I was investing on Stash, and I was getting above 10% interest like after 30 days. Like, so even though that's not a lot, 10% after 30 days, I mean, that was solid for me. But I know some people gain more. They do day trading. But it's what level of risk are you willing to take on? And that too you should listen to. Day traders are higher risk. Then there's just solid investing that's moderate risk. And then there's just dump your money in a trust or something and let it sit and accrue. I mean, that's low risk. So, I mean, there are methods based on your knowledge and the level of risk you're willing to take on. Find that person. And it's really not hard to find. They're out there.
Yeah, I think Pocket Watcher JT speaks somewhat on that. He's more about exposing people. I said to him, don't be putting me on your list.
Yeah, after all that stuff earlier, he gonna get you. I'm gonna send you in. I'm turning you in.
So what is Rico speaking on? Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Yeah.
You talked about there were no you couldn't find the toxicity in these other spaces. But me and him, it was actually me and him. We were online and we looked it up because we were having the same thought. Oh man, we don't see these other people doing that. I'm like, but no, that's not human nature. Doesn't work like that. I'm like, there has to be something similar across all spectrums. And when we went and looked, all the other like red pill groups from different ethnicities, all of them had anti-black themes running through their posts and comments. Like the Asian one, the Puerto Rican one, they were all anti-black.
Well, the thing about the red pill, right? A lot of these people that's arguing back and forth are against manosphere and they're not for red pill. The people that's going back and forth, they don't agree with red pill. And there's no what other you see the Asians doing Atlanta Housewives?
Yeah.
Asians?
Yeah. There's the Shahs of Sunset. You know what I'm saying? So
what's that? That's like similar to that, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Housewives. There's like they're from India or something like that. So like India's Asia, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I mean, there are these. I promise you, AR. I know it's hard to believe. Black people do not have a monopoly on negativity.
Yes,
stop it.
Listen, negativity came. Who created that, brother? Who created that? It's in our genetics. The negativity's in our genetics, but that's why you got to read and be embedded yourself. I'm joking, man. But no, negativity comes from just being around.
It's human nature, man. It's human nature. Yeah.
But what I'm really trying to say is that it's highlighted amongst us, right? It's highlighted amongst us, and we can change that. But how?
It takes work. It takes hard work, and that's what a lot of people are not willing to accept. And I know this is black people. That old thing about was it the black tax? We have to work twice as hard to get half as much. That dynamic, because of our position, our social positioning, requires us to overcorrect for other people's biases. That's unacceptable after a certain point in time, because you saw prior generations willing to put it twice the work to get half as much. Yeah, so it's like Why would I see what they did? They burned themselves out to get half as much. That means to get as much, I've got to be 4 times or more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the multiplicative effect of, say twice as much to get half. Well, how many more times do I have to work harder than to get just as much? Because I see what they have and I want that. I don't want half of that. I want that. So how hard do I have to work? I got to kill myself to get that. So most people won't subscribe to that. I'm not going to sign up for that.
Well, most of the time, the way it happens, like you look at the immigrants that come to this country, right? Regardless of what race, black, ain't whatever, right? They come to this country, right? What happens? That generation suffers, meaning that they just work and die, right?
Yep.
Next generation, pretty much, they have a little bit life insurance, right? Work, die, but then guess what? The next generation, they invest, they do this and that, boom, 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 boom. So maybe with me and your generation, we're not going to live that overwhelming life, right? But we can work, put away, train our children, and teach them and put them through the proper education, and they can get that. Life insurance is a big way to generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
I'm learning a little bit about trust fund. I want to understand a little more before I speak on that. That's really what it is, man. It's really about your next generation. Me and you may not make that, but I think the next generation will be able to not work 4 times hard, 3 times, right? The next generation is 2 times, stuff like that.
I get what you're saying, but this is a very individualistic, consumer-driven society we're in. Nobody's going to say, I'm not going to have it so I can let the next... very few people are willing to sacrifice so that their kids are good, but I'm going to be down bad right now. I'm going to suffer. I'm going to be living on ramen noodles in the bottom of the hood, so I can stack up and that my kids can live well. Very few people are like that. Very few people are cut like that. No matter what race, class, nobody really wants to sacrifice for somebody else's benefit. That's not the way the culture is set up right now.
Of course. So imagine there's 100 black people, right? And all 100 black people are successful. That's the object you have is less valuable, right? But listen, there's 100 black people and only 10 black people are successful. I'm in the 10, of course. If you want to go around and do all this crazy stuff, you're making it easier for me. But at the same time, I don't want you doing bad. But if you're doing bad, you're just helping me, Man,
but it's a dual-edged sword. Not it's helping you because it removes some of your competition, but it also harms your ethnic image of the people that will want to deal with you by your reputation. Like because people are going to think about you like these other people that look like you. So while you do have less competition, you also have a lower reputation based on the way you appear. So so it's a dual-edged sword, but the good comes with the bad. You got to take the strikes and the strikes and the curves or whatever. Yeah, I can't remember that saying, but you got to take the good and the bad. But you can't escape. You can't have one without the other.
No, of course. But at the same time, we're on this panel, right? We're trying to help people. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes you reached out to people. I've reached out to people. But if y'all still want to kill each other, God forbid, that's up to y'all. But I'm gonna pick up the breadcrumbs. The way I look at it, right? You have a table, right? You have the human at the table. They're feasting. Yeah. The dog jumps up, bites the food, or the human gives the food to the dog. The dog is chewing. The crumbs drop on the floor. The cat eats it. Now, in between the cracks, the mice is eating that. And now, in between the little cracks underneath that is the roaches. I'm the roach. So y'all want to fight and argue? I'm gonna pick up. This is
trickle down.
I'm gonna get the.
Yeah, trickle down theory. Yeah.
Hey, I'll be the roach.
Hey, but we all got to start somewhere. But you graduate. Yeah. Like in that kind of ecosystem, you wouldn't stay the roach. You could grow to become the mouse, and then the cat, and then the dog. So you roach, can elevate.
No, roach, water bug, right? Because they're big. Roach, water bug, move up. It's sad. It's really sad, but better you than me, man. What can I say?
Yeah. I get you. It's not worth too much of an investment if other people aren't willing, and it's actually counterproductive. Actually, because like the swimming analogy, I always go back to that. If somebody is panicking, right, and you're trying to save them, you can actually both die when you're trying to rescue them. Like you'll both end up drowning. So if somebody's fighting against progress, it's actually to both of your detriment to try to save them. It's sometimes better to let them, sad as it is, let them go, let them drown, and you get to safety. At least one of you will live.
Yeah, man. Be kind to others. Right? Why is that? How you being kind to others? How can you enjoy your 2022 by being kind to others?
Man, because it feels good. To most people, most Most socially tuned people like being kind and receiving kindness. You know, it's a cycle. Then you got people that just assholes, man. Assholes. But most of us, man, be kind because you like kindness. So you put that energy out in some way, man. The universe, whatever you believe in, it's going to come back to you. Kindness comes back. It doesn't have to come in the same form. I mean, you know, the daisy chain at Starbucks, buying the drink for the person behind you. I mean, whatever it is, whatever kindness you do, I promise you that kindness will be returned at some time and probably when you most need it. Because I mean, that's energy is an exchange. It's real. Like even though if you science, metaphysics, whatever, there is a rate of energy exchange. I mean, it does transfer between people. Like somebody comes in with bad energy in a room, and everybody feels like, ugh, what's wrong with them? That energy transference, it's a real thing. It manifests tangibly. No matter what you believe in, it's a real thing. Or somebody comes in happy, they're like, oh man, why are you so happy? And you start feeling a little pumped up with them. Energy transfers. So pass on good energy and let it recycle in it. Because right now we're just passing on a lot of negative energy. Don't pass that on. Like let that die.
Yeah, man. You know, yeah. What do you think about don't let life pass you by? Okay, don't. Hey, whoever's watching, subscribe. You know, it's free. Subscribe and don't unsubscribe after I tell you. Just subscribe. You know, and don't let life pass you by. All right, what does that mean to you?
Don't let life pass you by. Man, that was my thing. Like we talked about a little bit earlier. Not making like what I said, like not making affirmative choices. I wasn't asserting myself upon life. I wasn't making choices for myself. I was allowing choices to be made for me. So that was an issue. Even like, I mean, you go out, you're working, you get an apartment, like you apply for a place, and the first place that you apply for accepts you. That's where I would have lived. Like I would have went with like what was that Bruce Lee, like be water, you know, like the path of least resistance. I lived my life with the principle of the path of least resistance. Whatever was easiest, the low hanging fruit, that's what I went with. A girl paid me attention. That's who I was with. You know what I'm saying? Everything was like the easiest outcome. That's what I went with. But instead of like deciding for myself, well, I want this thing. Well, it won't be the easiest and it won't be the fastest. Well, now I'm trying to make those choices. Like, what do I actually desire from my life? And that's actually not letting life pass me by because I'm making those choices. So everything that happens on that process is part of the journey, as opposed to letting life direct me. And life was passing me by because I wasn't engaged in life. So life passing you by is you not being engaged. Even you may be active, you may be hanging out with friends, you may be doing certain things like working and having an apartment and a car. But if none of those choices you really made for yourself, life is passing you by. You're not engaged in it, and it's not fulfilling. I mean, I think all of you know if you're not making choices for yourself, you're not really getting any fulfillment from it.
Yeah, man. I lived a few years, quite a bit of years, you know, passed me by, you know. Even though I was working, like you said, I was working, I was doing stuff, but I had really bad anger issues to the point where I was taking painkillers, right? Not painkillers. I was taking painkillers as well, but I was taking sleeping pills. It got to the point where sleeping pills would no longer make me tired. I was really that angry. So every time I'll crush them up, right? I'll crush them up and every time someone pissed me off, I would just dip in the bag with my finger and like that, right? And that would calm me down a little bit. But then guess what started to happen is that stopped working. And then, you know, I had to really decide, you know, I gotta fix this issue, get some help, whatever, because one of these co-workers pace about the, you know, but I was so angry that the sleeping pills stopped working. And I was still becoming more and more angry. So yeah, man, you know, and the reason why I'm even doing this because I decided to just be open. Hopefully, this can help somebody, you know. And I understand the more I open up about myself, the more these people that's going back and forth can use this information against me, right? But at the same time, it's like, dude, you can't. I fought this battle. You're trying to make me fight a battle that's already defeated.
Yeah.
So that don't let life pass you by. Cherish moments with loved ones. What do you think about that?
No, that's important. And make sure, like, I would have at one point in time, I would have assumed loved ones meant family. But I had to recontextualize what family meant. And family were the people I chose to love, not my relatives. The people that loved me and I loved them, that was my family. The people I could rely on and they could rely on me, that was my family. So those were my loved ones, where we have a reciprocal exchange of energy and time and attention. Those are the loved ones that you need to cherish. I don't fall into anybody else's notion of loved ones are your family that you were born into, because man, they can be harmful.
Mm.
Don't assume that any one group of people, like if you go to a church and you believe that that body of believers is, who you need to cling to, if they're not helpful for you, if they are harmful, don't mistake those for loved ones because they're part of a group that you aligned with. So that's the thing a lot of people do. They have these alignments, whether it be relatives or social groups or something else, and they think they're there for them, but they're there for something totally different. But you were aligned about one point, but there were 5 points y'all were out of alignment on. So don't think those, don't mistake the wrong group for your loved ones, is what I'm trying to say. That's more important than what the question. Knowing who your loved ones are is way more important than knowing who to, when to cherish them. Because if you do have those people that you know are your loved ones, you're naturally going to cherish them. Like when you have something that's genuine and valuable, you're going to want to cherish it. So identification of that cherished thing is, the cherished part is going to come automatically when you find the thing that resonates with you and that you value.
No, absolutely. Yeah, man. And unfortunately, you don't know who is your loved one, really. The only way is by test, right? Over time,
Life, yep, life will test it.
being tested, and life will test you. Life
For
will
sure.
test you. So, um, and one thing I want to say is that the people that's not there for you, don't look when they need help. Don't necessarily look for revenge. Like, I'm not being there for good. Listen, you know, um, depending on what it is, right? But still be there for them. Depending on what it is, but for the most part, if you think that's your loved one, you still be. They wasn't when you're there for someone. They're gonna know. They're gonna know. They was like, damn, I really messed that up. You know, um, yeah, man. So what do we think about paying off debt? I think listen, man. Work a few jobs, pay off your debt. Work
Yeah.
a few jobs, pay off your debt. Listen, man. Take this year's already. This year's already, you know, messed up, right? It's already messed up. Take this year. Take this year, pay off your debt. Pay off your debt. I understand if you have a high student loan that's gonna take years, but the little things, stop doing credit repair, stop trying to get over it. Because even when you do credit repair, credit repair does not remove the debt. Okay, credit repair removes off your consumer report. You still owe the debt. You can still take you to court. They can still, it will still reappear back on your credit report. Okay, stop taking a shortcut. Pay off your debt. Pay off. So what do you think about that? Pay off your debt.
Definitely establishing a disciplined life is very important in all aspects of your life. Like that's what I failed at. So I mean, everything AR's talking about, he's talking about me. I was the debt person. I was the lazy, the physical person. I like mental, emotionally. I didn't want to put in any work. Path of least resistance was in all areas. If they were going to give me a credit card and I can buy up a bunch of stuff and I could just not pay it back, that was me. I'm
Mm.
that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like we was talking about the other day. Y'all might not have seen it, but go back to the Pookie stream. I'm the Pookie. Like I made all the bad choices. So trust me,
Yeah, but
I know Pookie's a 2020. Jesus. I'm trying not to be I'm trying not to be Pookie. I'm trying my hardest. But it's difficult if you don't have any structure put into you as a young person. If you're groomed without any respect or discipline or structure, man, it's hard to adopt all that as an adult. So I understand if you're in the same place I was, poor financial habits, a lack of self-control, impulse control, man, that was me. So paying off my debts became important later in life when I realized how important credit was. Oh my
Mhm.
God. It is so difficult to navigate adulthood with poor credit. If you have not messed up your
Sure,
credit,
okay.
do not, do not mess up your credit. Pay your debts. I promise you, it's so worth
Things
it
in there, my pants.
his pants. So when you get to when it comes time to get in the car, it can mean the difference between paying. And I want to give you something practical so you understand what I'm saying. Like you can pay $350 to $400 a month for a brand new car with good credit, or you could be paying $350 for a 12-year-old minivan because you have bad credit. Okay, so brand new car for the same price as a 12-year-old minivan because your credit is bad. Like, why would you take that L if you don't have to? So pay your debts, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and reap the rewards over time. Don't look for the shortcuts because you pay. If you don't pay now, I promise you'll pay later.
Yeah, man. What do you think about Pookies are becoming the new high value? You know, the high value of a Pookie, man. Listen, Target in certain areas is paying $24 an hour. $24 an hour plus benefits.
Yeah.
But see, y'all kept y'all socialists, right? Was kept asking, but you cannot. There's not one corner crack area, little, whatever shithole, whatever you want to call it, right? That socialism has worked. As a matter of fact, all of them are running over here. Even Bernie Sanders, plain socialism. He's a capitalist. But anyway, right? To that. They're paying, Bernie Sanders, right? But they're paying $24 an hour. Guess what's gonna happen now? Okay?
What?
Guess what's gonna happen? I have 14 employees. If I have to pay people $24 an hour plus benefits, guess what's gonna happen to those 14 employees?
What? Tell me.
It's gonna go down to like 5. There's no way I'm able to afford $24 an hour. Could you imagine plus benefits? If they wasn't receiving benefits before, there's no way, dude. There's no way I'm able to afford that, or anyone's able to afford that. So it's gonna happen now. Yeah.
The same companies that were complaining about paying people more money and shedding shedding payroll and laying off people were also making larger profits during the pandemic. They're making more money and trying to spend less. So that's fine, but don't put the narrative like I can't afford it. If you're making more money than when you're like, okay, let's say this: you have a car and you're paying $300 a month, and you get a $10,000 raise. Well, you can afford a $400 a month car because you got a raise that would facilitate that. Don't say, well, I got a raise, but I can't afford that $300 a month, or I can't afford $400. You can afford it. You just don't want to spend it. You don't want to look bad and say you don't want to spend the money, but that's what it is. You can afford it. You have the money. You have the capital. You have the means. So saying you don't, that's a lie. But if you don't want to spend it, that's okay too. That's part of business. If you don't want to spend it, that's fine. But the reason you're giving is a lie.
Well, you're talking about Target, right? But now let's talk about small business owners. They can't afford it. That's why some of them don't even have employees. They're doing the mopping, the sweeping, the maintenance. They're doing the cash register. Small owned business, they can't afford increase of a minimum wage. They can't afford it, right? Big companies could. But what's going to happen is that, big companies are just going to simply move overseas and just ship everything over here. Because it's insane to pay more money to employees to do the same work they was doing last year, unless it's a career. Unless it's a career. If it's not a career, it's insane to spend more money on employees doing the same job they was doing last year.
So you don't believe in cost of living adjustments?
Yeah, I do.
But that's paying somebody more this year than you paid them last year because of the rising cost of everything else around them. So I mean, the only way to fix costs in a system like you're advocating for would be socialism.
No.
Yes.
Well, where has socialism worked? I don't want to get off topic, but
but you just advocated for it. You said you should not pay people more this year than you paid them last year. You know where they have salary caps? In socialist type systems, there's a cap. But you put a hard cap.
I don't believe in socialists.
But you just espouse the principle.
Now, due to rules and regulations, you have to increase it, right? If the minimum wage does go up, you have to increase it. But what people are not understanding, McDonald's, right? They make several McDonald's close down temporarily because they invested in automation, right? Target, what's that thing called when you could ring it yourself?
Self-checkout.
They invested in self checkout. So yeah, they're
Mm-hmm.
paying $24 an hour with benefits. But guess what? The employee amount is going to decrease because it's going to use the machine. The machine has never bitches complain about working.
Right.
They run 24 hours.
Right.
I do believe people should make more money, but now I don't, at the same time, you're doing folding clothes up, you're packing grocery, you're packing bags. Some people say how can you live off of $15? I think in New York it's $15 hours a minimum. How can you live off of $15 an hour? You're not supposed to, motherfucker. You're not supposed to live off of minimum wages for kids. Why can't you understand that? Minimum wage is for children. It's for young adults.
Disagree.
Minimum, you can, without government assistance, you cannot survive off of it. If you're living by yourself, you can't survive. Even if you have 2 minimum wage jobs, you still can't survive off of that. So, in the meantime, like we're saying, enjoy 2022. You got to reinvent yourself. The system is not fair. Okay, cool. But you gotta reinvent yourself. And Rashawn, I really believe with this YouTube space, you're able to, in Instagram, you're able to connect with so many different people.
True.
And they can give you info for free.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that do trucking. They own a trucking company, or their boss is hiring. You can get your CDL, and it may not be something you want to do. We know the system is not fair.
That's important. Like now that's where we agree. Like now the economics and stuff, it's very complicated. But what a lot of people won't admit to because of where they land on the political spectrum, it could be better. It could be fairer, but you can't make somebody else be fair if they don't have to. Like we don't have the ability to hold businesses accountable the way we could, because people could raise salaries. They could also lower salaries if things weren't regulated. Like everything's up in the air. But what doesn't stop is your ability to adapt to circumstances. You don't have to live where you live. We're free to move. I can move to a different city, a different state, a different country. I don't have to work where I work. I could apply somewhere else. I can learn a new skill. Like you have, there's what I do appreciate. I know a lot of people talk about this country. In this country, you do have an inordinate amount of opportunity for growth and change, to reinvent yourself, to reinvent your skills. I'm learning new YouTube skills that I didn't have several months ago. Like I promise you, it seems daunting. I was afraid myself to make changes. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not making any financial rewards, but I'm receiving my ROI, my return on investment that I'm putting in YouTube has come in personal growth, because I am no longer afraid of being in the public space. I used to get on here and I would be almost, I know this is not manly to say, but I would be just on the verge of like trembling a little bit, like, public speaking. But now I really don't care about getting in front of the camera. It doesn't bother me. I don't even think about it too often, other than like, man, there's something sitting on top of my head. Like it's almost normal. And that's over the course of what, 3-4 months tops. I've only had a YouTube channel for 2 months, and I was appearing on panels for a month. So 3 months. In 3 months, I've almost completely conquered my fear of being on camera in a public space. That's personal growth, and that's a greater return on investment than a dollar amount, in my opinion. Because had I been getting paid but still afraid, what would be the benefit? I'd rather live a more fearless life than have a little bit more finances in my pocket.
Absolutely, man. See, look at that, everyone. Black people can get along. We just got along. Look at that, I'm speaking like chaotic truth. That's what you know chaotic truth? Chaotic truth?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I've seen a few things.
Yeah, man. Very energetic guy. Very nice guy.
Yeah. He's
read as much as you can. What do you say to that? Read as much as you can.
Man, yes, please.
What's the famous saying? If you wanna hide something from what is it?
God. He can't stop being that R word, man. That R word is burning in his blood, boy. I tell you. Listen, yes, I can't remember the quote, but it was something about, if you want to learn more about yourself, read. If you want to learn more about the world, you read. If you want to learn more about yourself, you write. But the world is out there in books. It's refined in book form. The written word is refined. People had to take the time to write it and refine it and edit it, and it was overlooked. So you're getting a better product than a lot of any freelance YouTube person. So somebody like me, I didn't spend a lot of time being trained on how to speak and what to say and which words to choose. My diction and my syntax might be all over the place and my grammar might be improper. But in a book, man, you had a whole publishing house and editing team and all that. So you're getting the best packaged product as far as getting the words and ideas formed in a way that should be consumable. So anybody on YouTube, you got to like, oh, how do they sound? I don't like their tone, or I don't like the way they look, or I don't like the way they work. He keeps saying the N word. So you might get something that doesn't suit you. But in a book, a lot of that is contextualized in the best format to be digestible by the masses. So yes, read as much as you can because you're absorbing ideas in probably the best format for understanding.
Yeah, man. What do you prefer? I mean, I prefer digital, but I also do believe actual book, you know. Actually, it's hard for me, but I do believe that I think it does help. I don't know. I feel more educated when I read physical book.
I enjoy taking apart ideas, man. So I actually enjoy reading, but I hate touching books. I don't know what it is. I'm a low-key germaphobe. So like, man, the pandemic was like heaven for me. Like everybody's wearing masks and people are washing their hands and hand sanitizers everywhere. I promise you, I loved it. But touching a book, especially if other people touched it, like from the library, and then sometimes the pages smell a little moldy. I don't like books, like physical books. But man, my Kindle's kind of full. So I enjoyed reading to a point. I don't read like a book a day or a book every 3 days, but I'll read a piece of a book or a piece of a literature, like a few pages here and there. I make sure I stay in something that I have to read. And then I write also, because it's not enough to just absorb other people's thoughts. You need to work them over in your own mind, and writing helps you do that. So take both parts of the discipline, reading and writing, and make them a part of your life.
Yeah, man. What do you think about find free forms of entertainment, right? So instead of spending a lot of money on entertainment, what about finding free forms of entertainment? Getting out a little bit more, man. Yeah, okay.
Getting out, that's cool. Getting out and trying to find something free is difficult. But if it depends on where you live. If you live in a larger city, you probably have more opportunity for free events. So, depends on who's listening. Like in my city, it's about 800, 900,000 people. There are lots of free things, festivals, things like that. But even inside, if you're an indoor person, you're a couch potato.
No.
There are free video games. I am a Fire Stick guy. I was programming 3 Fire Sticks before I got on this thing. That's why I was a little bit late, because I went and I was supposed to be going to fix 1, but I ended up fixing 3. But anyway, it's I don't know if I can say this, like piracy, but okay. Yeah, it's on the Fire Stick, but it's free. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying. I do look for opportunities to gain value, extract value wherever I can. So yes, don't overspend. You don't have to spend, like I got a friend, I'm trying to get him off of cable. He's spending $230 a month. You know, and you got to cut these costs. Even, I promise, this is what I'm saying. Even if you can afford it, you can reallocate that money to something that's more beneficial to you. You cut that $230 down. You cut that down to $150. That's $80 a month. That's what, 800, 960. That's $1,000 a year that you could be investing over 10 years. Yeah. That's what, $10,000 plus whatever interest. Okay. So you might have 15 compound interest or whatever. If you've invested it, even low yield, if you go from 10,000 to 13,000, you've gained 3,000 just by paying a lower cable bill. And that's just one bill you've made more efficient or whatever. So, please save money where you can, because those gains add up over time.
Get your Kool-Aid. I got my Kool-Aid today, you know? Nah, but listen, man. Listen.
Drink water.
Listen, man. Listen, okay? Oh, something weird, right? That sounds like what Tia Lay be doing, right? So So exactly what we be doing, right? So pee in a cup. Listen, I'm not saying he does that, right? Allegedly, but you did a 9 hour stream of Boyce Watkins, no breaks.
Mm.
Damn. Anyway,
It'd be hard to
right?
talk about him for 9 hours.
Yo, but listen, if you have children, I'm in New York City. Took my nephew on pumpkin picking, right? Pumpkin picking. You can pick out the pumpkins you have to pay for, but just to pick them out and to grab them, pull them from the vine, whatever it's free. It's absolutely free. He had a good time. You could take a woman on apple picking. She's gonna think it's the most romantic thing, but you gotta pay for the apple. So just put the shit back. But it's a nice walk. It's a nice walk. There's a lot of free things you can do and start to learn how to, especially with the pandemic. I developed allergies, right? Because being inside all day gave me allergies. And the doctor told me that a lot of people develop allergies that they never had before due to just enjoy outside and, save your money. Learn how to take that money and invest it somewhere else, so we're almost done with that. But what do you think about get enough sleep? Yeah,
Man, don't worry about your sleep.
When you're young. Yeah. Welcome to. Oh yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Let me see if I find it.
While he's looking, only thing I'll say worry about your sleep if it's affecting your daily life. If you're not getting enough sleep to operate, worry about it. But if you're having a quality of sleep where you can operate, work, do what you need to do, come home, treat everybody with sanity, like in peace, man, don't worry about your sleep. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I think, I always set an alarm.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need an alarm, but I set an alarm. I want to make sure I don't oversleep. It's crazy to be waking up around noon if you went to bed 11 o'clock last night. That's insane.
Yeah, 11 hours. Ooh, yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
It's 13 hours. Golly, yeah.
What do you think about do what you want to do? Do what you want to do.
Nah, the way I always heard it was do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. Like take care of your necessities first. I mean, that was definitely a problem I had because, again, I was impulse control. So I did what I wanted to do first and then did what I needed to do with whatever I had left with my energy or my money. And that caused problems. That caused a lot of problems. So, no, do what you need to do first. And then with what you have left, your discretionary income or your discretionary time, then do what you want to do.
Yeah, but on the other aspect is that when I wanted to start a YouTube channel, a lot of people tell me like, YouTube, you don't even, you're not even on camera. You never on camera. You never take pictures. You have a speech impediment. You can't talk, right? So, do what you want to do, man. As far as your goals, man, create goals and go. Listen, if you fail 1 year. I mean, you've been failing the last 10 years.
Man,
one more year is not going to fail you. You've been failing by doing nothing. At least fail doing something. It's okay to fail. What do you think about it's okay to fail?
No, it has to be. And that's the problem I was having. I was so afraid of failure that I was crippled. But I wouldn't take any chances. But that was a level of failure I didn't understand that I was participating in. I was failing. I was in a state of failure as opposed to failing at a thing. So living your life as a failure versus doing something and failing at it and readjusting and coming back at it, and that's a totally different dynamic. Mentally, it processes differently. So like for me, when I was living as a failure, there was like constant shame attached to it. But if I try something and I fail at it, oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll try it this way. Oh, that didn't work. Man, with the podcast thing, I've had to go through multiple microphones and things because, man, the sound quality was terrible. But I don't even really care about that because I tried it, I failed, and I found something that did work, and I'm cool. So I'm actually using a camera and mic setup that AR suggested to me. So I bought that, got that out here. So
you using it right now?
Yep.
Wow. How much was it?
It was like 40 and some change, 43, 44.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
I'm using it too. And you know what? I mean, my microphone.
It works. I haven't had problems since.
I got on. I think my microphone's like $19 or something like that. So
But I'm not even using a plug-in mic. I'm using the mic that's on the camera.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
Because
man.
every time I plug in a mic, I get this really strong feedback, this staticky sound. And it happened with 3 different brand new mics. So I don't know what to do about that. But the point was I failed and I kept adjusting until I found something that worked. And it may take reaching out to somebody or asking somebody a question and getting good advice, good counsel.
Yeah, man. What do you think about decluttering? I know we're over the hour.
Oh,
but
man. You cool.
Decluttering down, so like going through your stuff and getting rid of. What do you think about that?
Definitely, it does help. I really do not enjoy clutter. I do have too much because I buy tech. So I've got like I was talking about programming Fire Sticks. So I mean I've got Roku's, I've got Nvidia Shields, I've got some other stuff because they said it has a better remote. It's too much, and I need to sell it, but excuse me, it's hard to what is it? It's hard to incentivize yourself to get rid of something that's useful and operable. It still works just fine, but you're going to get rid of it. But you actually ordered it, like you paid for it, so you have that sunk cost fallacy. I invested in it, so I don't want to get rid of it. But man, sometimes it might be better to just release it, man. Throw it away, give it away. I tried to donate some of the stuff, but the library said they weren't taking equipment donations. So I was like, man, that's crazy. But yeah, declutter, it does help. It cleans up your space, helps you be more organized. Don't carry much more than you need.
Yeah, man. And listen, this is a pro tip. Listen, man, keep a duffel bag, right? Always keep a duffel bag with some underclothes, like 3 pairs of underclothes, pants, 2 pants, sweatpants, cheap stuff, right? But God forbid there's a fire. You grab the bag and go.
Bug out bag.
Grab the bag and go, y'all don't listen to me, what do you think about have regular family money meetings? No, have regular meetings with your family. Check up on them, call just a regular, maybe doing something like this, right? If y'all all separate, what do you think about, what do you think about?
Now, anybody that you have a relationship with, you should regularly check in with. The interval doesn't have to be the same per person. So in everything in life, I say be agile minded, like be nimble. So like maybe me and AR, maybe we only need to talk every couple months. Me and JP, maybe we got to check in every week. Everybody has different mental and emotional needs, and your relationship needs to be based on the dynamic between the two of you. I can't deal with my older sister every day or really every week, but once a month we talk just to check in, make sure we cool. You have to operate on the level that you two can maintain with respect and reciprocity. So, I mean, and that goes like business relationships too. Maybe me and AR can't do business every single day because he keeps using the N word. But I mean, I'm cool. I can get with, but some people can't. Yeah. And some people might have to like, okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. But that's okay. You have to set your boundaries and expectations according to what you can provide and what you need for yourself. And always keep those things in mind.
I also do believe, just so people know, me and Rashawn speaks behind the scenes as well, right? But it's also important for you to understand if someone doesn't like something on a serious level, maybe you gotta pull back from that. Adjust just, you can adjust yourself. Like if I want a panel with most of the panel are females that are mothers, right? My jokes will be toned way down, right? Especially if they're older generation as well, because you gotta have that respect, right? And just so you know what this says right here, Rashawn.
We take donations.
What do you think about keeping a journal? I've never done it, but what do you think about it?
I do not keep a journal. I'm sure. Now I'm gonna tell you what makes me think I probably wish I had. I've gone back through my emails and found some things I've written from 5 or 10 and 15 years ago in my emails. And I'm like, man, I don't even recognize the person that wrote that. Like it came from a frame of mind I didn't recognize. And I'm like, man, that feels like a foreign person. So if I could track the progression from like day to day or month to month or week to week through journals, it probably would have been more informative to me to see how I progressed from that state to my current state. So I do believe there's probably value to journaling. I just did not participate I didn't go that route, so I did not get that. I didn't get that experience, but I do believe it's probably beneficial, and probably more for one person than the other.
Yeah, I personally, I think journals are great for, pass down to my children. But
Mm,
reason why I don't necessarily keep a journal, because I've actually developed a way to forget a lot of the things I've actually been through.
mm.
Um, Not that I'm hiding or running from it. It's just, it's a waste of time. It's definitely a waste of space. You know. So if I go back and read it, that's not something I want to be welcome, in my head. But when you think about, stop being afraid of your past, right? Because these YouTubers are exposing a lot of personal information that happened. Rashawn, if I call you, if I text you, don't be screenshotting myself and put up, just because you're mad at me, you put on the screen, right? And guess what, right? So YouTube beef is exposing a lot of people past. So what do you say to stop being afraid of your past?
Yeah, I mean, don't be afraid of your past. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I deal with this too, because I'm like, man, I hope they don't bring up my stuff. I have a past too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know JP's in the crowd, Butterscotch Bear, but I mean, I have negative stuff in my history too. So I'm like, man, do I really want to put myself out there where people could dig up everything? I don't really care about the stuff that's in my past. I could talk about it, I could share it, I could explain it. That's all fine. But man, I don't want it to come out in a way that I don't control how it's told. I mean, you can think of me what you want to think of me, but I like to be able to have the opportunity to explain myself if that need arose. But these people aren't even affording each other the opportunity to tell their own story. It's a form of, like, they say with a LGBT, like you're outing somebody. Like, they're outing people's history or outing people's present circumstances. They're outing people's life and not allowing that person to contextualize it in a human way. And that's what I don't respect about the way people are moving, because they're stripping away somebody's humanity and using the facts of their life as weapons. And it's cowardly and sick to me, but I gotta not participate in it. Like, I gotta have to quit it. Even I like mess, but I gotta not even watch it, because it's like I talked to earlier about the energy. So, like when I talked about with kindness, like putting that energy out there, even if I'm just receiving that energy and watching it and consuming it entertaining wise, it's still a part of my brain. I'm still tuning into that frequency, and I need to be more mindful about what I allow in, because that's going to affect what comes out.
Part of the reason why I'm faithful. I know, listen, y'all 304s, if I were to get with you as soon as you get upset, what you gonna do? You're gonna try to find her. You can't find her. I blocked her. She can't even watch the stream. I'll be blocking her. As soon as, but no, it's really, but on a serious note, well, I'm serious too, but on a serious note, um, if I share something with you, Rashawn, in private about me, that's like to the grave. You can't. That's my story, and I don't know, man. It's just sad. It's just sad, and this is just like, we're doing it to each other. I joke around a lot about the N word and joke, but
Yeah.
on a serious note, we're doing it to each other, and even we're allowing outside people to do it to us,
Mm-hmm.
and we're cheering on. Unless, yeah, I'm not. Listen,
I know
I don't
you
want
trying to stay
to.
out of it. You don't want to get into beef.
I don't want to get into beef, but it's something we got to talk about.
Yeah,
It's definitely something we got to talk about, and
absolutely.
my demons, I already fought myself. That's already defeated. So you can
Mm.
scourge and just make sure you, if you talk about me, good or bad, just make sure you drop the link to my channel.
As long as it's promotion.
Promote me, man. But no, I think on a serious note, I really hope that people just move forward, drop it. It's just disgusting. And now it's really at the point where, like, there's a few people that invited me to go on their panels and stuff, and I'm thinking, like, damn, if I go on this one's gonna think that, and this and that, and then this person's gonna bring up that, um and it's people in the comments gonna bring stuff up, and
Mm-hmm.
and go from there, but so closing out, what do you want to say about Pookies of 2022? Enjoying it 2022, like seriously enjoying it, going after whatever you want to go after, being faithful, that's something to celebrate. Go after the job, attain the skill, reach out to this person, get your CDL, get your, I don't know, what do you want to say?
Now, I would say like there's a 4-point thing. Like this is the path I'm trying to walk this year, and I'll just put it out there and maybe you can use it. So the first thing was identification. So I needed to lean into who I am. Like, so you need to know who you are. So you might need to do the investigative work to find out who exactly you are. So lean into those skills and those talents and those traits and find out what might be suitable for you. Because a lot of us are in the wrong spaces. And then decide exactly what you want. So you need to identify what your goals are, like AR talked about. You need to know where you're going and how you plan on getting there. So the next step is then to organize. And this is, structure is hard for a lot of us. Like AR talked about, I don't know, no, we weren't recording at the time. Like color people time, we need to be more structured and organized because keep a calendar in your phone, a planner, but keep a calendar and know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there and hold yourself to it. So that's what I'm trying to make sure I do. Then strategizing. So writing down what your plans are, at least have a skeleton of an idea that you can work from. So I have like 2 weeks of live streams on 2 different channels mapped out at every time. So any week I'm in, I have that weekend and next week planned out. So you need to have a strategy for how you're going to do the things you're going to do. And then mobilize, actually like take action, like jump into it, because sitting on the sidelines doesn't get you anything. Like it's hard to enjoy from the sidelines and you don't get any like achievement. You don't get a sense of achievement from just watching everybody else do what you could be doing. If it doesn't cost you too much, if it doesn't put you at too much risk, just lean in, say yes to things, get out of your comfort zone. I'm telling you from experience over the last few months, it has great personal benefits to challenge yourself and to meet those challenges. And if there are obstacles, to overcome them and keep moving. Like overcome and proceed. I think I don't remember there's a quote like overcome and proceed, but it's something like that. So I mean, but have fun, enjoy the journey, and don't focus on the outcome you're looking for. Like steep yourself in the moment and live each moment. Like live prenup. Live each moment to the best of your ability. You're aiming at that outcome, but you don't want to focus on it because in every day that you're not at that outcome, you'll dwell on the negative. So focus on the now, but keep the outcome in sight, but not where you're focused. So that's it. But again, enjoy, man. Enjoy it. Have fun. Quit being so serious. Lighten up.
Yeah, listen, anything we said today, let me give a disclaimer, okay? This is not for everyone, right? The things we said, don't be offended. We were talking about you're not included. But guess what? It's not for everyone. Please don't be offended. But guess what? If you are offended, we talking about you. Check this out, everybody. So, right? When someone says no, right? A no does not necessarily, we're not talking about females. When a woman says no, it's fucking no. Okay. But in general, when it comes to your goal that doesn't involve another person, when you're a female, when you're trying to get a goal, right? When you're trying to achieve a goal, right? And the goal says no, you can still achieve it. Rashawn, would you agree with that?
You can definitely still achieve most goals. There are some doors that one person controls that has the keys to, but almost everything else is if you can be less rigid in your thinking. It's a problem with rigid thinking. A thinker will say, this is my one opportunity and this is my only way to get to it. So you have to, that's what I talked about earlier about nimble or agile. You need to be a more open thinker. That way you can see other opportunities of like AR. Maybe he's like, man, I don't want Rashawn on my panel. But then there's JP and Mr. Rucker who both have channels. So maybe JP will open up a spot for me. Or maybe Mr. Rucker will help let me help with his editing. So I still might have an opportunity to advance in whatever I'm desiring to do in YouTube, even if one door closes. But if I think AR is the only way, then I'm stuck. As soon as he says no, I'm stuck. But even in that one way, there is also overcoming objection. So you can overcome objections through persistence, or you can elevate and make yourself more valuable. Like so that they, make them a proposal that they can't say no to. So there are ways to overcome even that one challenge. But again, it's a risk reward thing. Is it worth putting in the work to sway AR and make him want to work with me? Or should I just move to greener pastures for myself? But that's something you have to decide based on where you're trying to go.
There's two things I want to point out. I want to make sure people really understand. When I'm looking down on my phone, I'm typing. I'm actually typing in notes, right? Can't see that. Yeah, I'm actually typing in notes, right? So as you're talking, a lot of times, Rashawn, this the reason why I have people back on, I have you on, because just you say stuff and I need to take notes of it, So that's what I want to say. I want to make sure I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to gather this stuff down. But listen to this, right? Rashawn said he said, AR, damn it, I'm only coming to your show only on Sundays. That's it. He said, that's it. That's it. And I said, okay, Rashawn, that's a what? That's not a no.
You got me.
That's a not now. Sometimes a no means not now. You gotta be patient. What's today, Rashawn?
It's Sunday plus.
Rashawn's on here for over an hour and a half.
Okay, you know what, man? I've been tricked, hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok, led astray.
But listen, man, it's always good working with you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. But I decided just to do something. Enjoy 2000. We kind of freestyled it, but that was a good mix up. And I just want to make sure that people start enjoying it. Too much hatred, man. Especially in this YouTube stream. It's like it's so little of us. It's like what 100,000 of us, just consumers or whatever. We could change that narrative, man. But it's like we all agree on the same thing, but we're fighting each other. What is that about? Anyway, So Rashawn, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll try to squeeze you in a few times this week. We'll see. If I'm able to. So everyone in the comments, everyone go to Rashawn's page, go to his channel. Go to his Facebook, go to his Instagram, and let's try to get him on our panels more than just once a week. Jesus. So, Rashawn, what about your channel? Tell people about your channel, right? You and Rico have a channel.
Yeah, so right now you can find me on Critically Drinking with Rico and Rashawn. It will actually be in 1 hour and 20 minutes. We'll be going live. So that's our intention. We try to break down ideas and topics from a critical eye, but we sometimes like to have fun. That's the drinking part, critical and drinking. Our person. Ooh, sorry. Got a little shook up there. Oh. little drunk streaming there, but but no. So I like to critically think about things and try to figure things out, and Rico does too. He likes to drink, but he also likes to think too. So I enjoy the conversations. I'm trying to develop the channel because, like I told people earlier, I'm fairly new to this. So I'm learning as I go. So I'm learning. I've been cutting up snippets and doing I knew how to do timestamps, but I'm doing thorough timestamps, and I'm trying to learn how to do. I'm now today learning how to do like the key tags and keywords and learning about that, how that does in the search engine optimization. So as I go, you will see the channel evolve as I evolve. So that is me. You'll see the practice of what I've been preaching during this show as my channel goes along. So if you see my channel today and see it in July, you should see a difference somewhere noticeable, either what comes on screen or what you see on the back end. They should look different because that's me putting my principles into practice. I plan on doing these things we talked about it being better in 2022. And I hope that you see the proof of that.
All right, everybody. Take care. Rashawn, enjoy the rest of your day, brother, okay?
And somebody said it's pre-recorded. Yeah, it's not pre-recorded, Simma. But yeah, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Simma, that's one of your followers? Simma. Nah, man, this is live, man.
Yeah.
Even he's surprised. Like, wow, Rashawn was only supposed to be on Sunday. He did 4 hours yesterday. Now he's doing another hour and a half. Wow,
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you enjoy the rest of your day too, AR.
All right, take care, man.